What's the next topic, niggas? Let's talk about this Don Q right here. Let's talk about this Don Q.
No shit.
You need to get a goddamn endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, start shouting them out.
Not necessarily.
Start shouting them out, Corey.
Don Q, y'all. Don Q.
I'll be right back.
What's y'all go to looking right now? Not necessarily since Corey on that Don Q.
Don Q.
We know that.
Hey,
Crown is always handy.
Other than Remy, I fuck with it's a tequila. It's called Casamigos. George Clooney. It's George Clooney's brand. And that shit's fire.
Oh.
What'd you say, Phil? And what'd you say, Phil?
Oh, I just said Crown is always around. We used to have the Crown.
Crown is always around. Rhyming ass nigga.
I think the black label, if I wasn't fucking with the Don Q, I think black label, I think it has less calories. They say the whiskey has less calories.
You not calorie
Hold on,
counting all them steaks on your front porch, nigga.
Oh.
Hey, what was that liquor called again, Reds?
Casamigos.
Y'all had 1942?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Casamigos better than that, though.
That's Remy. Is it that Remy?
No, that's Don Julio.
Tequila. Yeah.
Ah, that jump. In the special bottle.
Get the Casamigos Reposado.
Nigga, what?
Reposado.
Reposado.
Casamigos. George
30.
Clooney.
I got it.
That's 1738. Yeah.
We was talking about sneakers. Corey got the Jordan logo all in it.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do.
This nigga said Lawrence Fishburne instead of Lorenz Tate. And this said LT. Lawrence Fishburne ain't got no LT.
Exactly. I was like, I thought you said LT. Lawrence Fishburne Taylor?
Oh, yeah, LT. Lawrence Fishburne.
That's what I said, Lawrence Fishburne Taylor?
I did.
Fuck y'all.
You did.
That nigga had a whole debate with himself for everything, too, man.
Hell nah.
I was dead ass serious too. You said Lawrence Fishburne Taylor?
Oh man.
Loud and wrong.
Is
definition of it. Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Fishburne.
LT?
Wrong as hell.
Lawrence
Fishburne probably is underrated though.
Yeah, he in there. He got too many. He got too many spots. Too many spots.
Wait, Ike Turner? Yeah, he did a lot.
Oh yeah, he the man.
Hey, yeah, Fishburne got a big Matrix and
Matrix. You got cut that one out after Matrix. Or before Matrix, yeah.
School Days, he got a whole bunch.
Spike Lee,
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Yep, he was. He was the part. I forgot about that.
He was a dad.
Othello.
Oh, yep, the original Othello. The original.
It wasn't the original though. The original Othello, it was a white dude with blackface. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's the original.
Wow, for real?
Yeah,
of course. That ain't no black story.
That's like a Shakespeare. That's like a play, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Shakespeare type shit.
Dang, that's crazy.
But he did his thing though.
What?
Hey,
that blackface, they used to do that.
What's y'all craziest Metro story?
Metro.
Metro.
Being on the DC Metro or some shit.
Oh, I got some wild shit, bro.
Man, I used to have so many videos in my phone.
Wait, something that happened to you or some shit you seen?
Shit I seen, bro. Like,
okay.
Look, because I was reminded of this shit now because for whatever reason, my license is suspended right now, and I don't know why, and I can't like fight the shit because everything's closed. But it just brings me to a time. It's like, man, when I was walking everywhere, when I was taking the bus everywhere, I was like, bro, fuck this shit. I'm gonna have a car like from now on. But to rewind, like two of the wildest stories I had from on the metro was like the first one was I remember I was on the Y8 from like Glenmont to like Silver Spring, and it was just like fucking. It was a fucking like bass head. And he was smacking off on the jump.
On the bus?
Yes, he was smacking off on the bus, like behind, like, and he was behind like two girls.
This was late at night, right?
Like barely. It was like probably like 9 o'clock.
Like 10. Okay, all right.
Right.
Smacking off on the bus.
I've seen that too.
He said, "Oh, all right, it's 10 o'clock. It's cool."
And when he finished, he put his hand on the rail. He put his hand on the rail, and his fingers was like all greasy looking. And then, all right, get that shit out your head. Get it out your head. And then another story. I was on the red line. I think I was coming through like it was like after like with Titan, and I seen like this white lady. She had like a black top, a black dress on, like straight black hair, and she's like older. She's probably like 50s, in her 50s. And like I'm like I had my Walkman on shit just back then. I had my Walkman on, and I would see her out the corner of my eye going from like seat to seat to seat, like in between stops, seat to seat to seat, and then finally she sat across from me because you know your back is like this, and there's a seat across from you, and like I'm like looking down, and I look up, she look at me, and we make eye contact, and she opened her legs. You could see like her fucking bush and her coochie and shit. And like, she looked at me, I look at her, and I look down at this shit, and I look back at her, and then she just closed it and like moved to another seat. Like she was showing her shit to everybody on the train.
Oh my god!
Gosh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
The train.
Oh my gosh!
The
These people shouldn't be on the streets. Like, God, damn.
So
but you know it's weird. It do be like it be eerie type people on the metro like that though. Like it's. I remember one time I seen this Spanish dude just talking to his phone. He's just holding it up. He's just talking Spanish to it, like going off, but nobody was even on the phone. It's so many tweakers.
Yeah, that's like a hot.
Look, my craziest metro story was I was taking my ass home, wherever the fuck, getting off at, what was it, Fort Titan or some shit, where the fuck, and I'm walking down the stairs and shit. Put my little card in that motherfucker, and some motherfucker come up behind me, and they put their back, they put some shit in my back, talking about, yeah, run that shit, nigga, run that shit. I need all that shit. I'm like, it's so many motherfucking thoughts going in my motherfucking mind. I'm like, God damn, am I about to die for fucking this nigga up? Should I turn around and fuck this nigga up, or is this nigga about to shoot me, whatever the fuck? And like after that, like 2, 3, maybe 5 seconds go by, whatever the fuck, and cause it's like, oh, dog, it's me, see Mo, it's me, it's me. I'm just fucking with you and shit. It's my man Cornell and shit. He's fucking with me and shit.
Little Cornell?
Yeah.
Little fat Cornell?
Yeah. I was like, God damn, nigga, why you out here motherfucking playing around this shit, nigga? You out here playing around. Niggas thinking about life or death choices right now, nigga. We out here playing around, dog. That's my craziest shit on the metro. I mean, I done seen motherfuckers get fucked up and all that shit on the metro or whatever, but that was one that stuck with me. My own nigga just fucking with me and shit. Yeah, dog.
I think my
get robbed on the metro every.
I used to, man.
My jump happened this year. Like my jump happened this year.
Everything.
I was on the way home from work, like legit on the way home from work on a crowded rush hour train. We just got we just got on at LaFont. So we get on at we about to get on at LaFont, and like legit, a girl walks up to another girl and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know you," and the other girl's like, I'm sure I don't know where I know you from. She's like, "I know you, like you was fucking my boyfriend or something, blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh shit, all right, this is where it's about to go down." So then like both of us hop on the
go down.
Green Line train. The Green Line train is packed full of people.
Always.
Somehow or another, like I guess
Yeah.
getting arguing and still talking about their altercation with the boy or whatever. All of a sudden, like the girl swings off and hits the girl, and like they jump one girl. The girl who jumped pulls out pepper spray on a packed train and was about to pepper spray.
Oh God!
Like legit, like we couldn't even do. I mean, like only thing we could do was like, you know what I'm saying, like tackle, not necessarily tackle, but physically bring one girl. But like, you know how crazy that shit is to be in that situation because you don't want to necessarily touch a girl, but at the same time, like everybody
it's like nowhere to move either on the trains.
And she didn't care. And they was talking about like, what you about to go home and come and see your kid? She's like, nah, I don't care. She was talking about like she basically
didn't care.
Her kid, like crazy. I seen somebody pull a taser.
Living that trife life.
I seen somebody pull a taser out on the train too.
Man, I remember one time I seen this old lady just counting up cash. Like she was pulling cash out from everywhere. Old lady, but just counting on a seat. But I'm like, it was the middle of the night. Cause I used to be on there after studio sessions. Like I used to always be on the Metro. So I used to see some like this weirdo stuff. I don't know. That's a whole nother lifestyle. Right?
Well, I know one time I was on the bus. When I used to work at the Redskins store, at Wheaton Mall, and I was on my way home, and there was this homeless dude on the bus, and he was literally sitting down in his seat, pissing in his seat, like as the bus.
You might have knew my ex back
just
then.
All in like as the buses and people just, you know what I'm saying, getting in. He just and then sitting in the shit the whole time, like as the bus is going. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that shit was kind of fucked up. And then I feel like I had one train joint too. I don't know why it's not clicking right now, but I feel like there was one I had though. If it come back to me, but I know I had some.
Hey, what was your first jobs? First job?
Domino's Pizza.
My first job. You said where?
Domino's Pizza, like 14 years old.
I was a greeter, whatever the fuck they call that shit. I was a nigga when you walk in, I was right there. It's like, I'm pleased to meet you. Let me seat you. And
Laurel. What store? I mean, where restaurant?
IHOP.
Oh, IHOP. Okay.
IHOP in Laurel. Yeah.
Man,
I used to work at this little pizza. I used to work at this little pizza joint called Giuseppe's, and I used to. All I did was wash dishes. That was about it. Oh yeah, I used to mop the floor. Yeah, I was like this. Yeah, I used to mop and shit like that. That was about it.
It's wild because like I worked there, and then like I for real used to come and go whenever I want Domino's and shit. And then like one of like my like the managers that hired me like got fired and got like deported or some shit. And then the next manager, he was like a fuck up, and he would get like DUIs and shit. I used to have to like, I used to drive his car, and I was like 15, and like take money out the safe and shit to bail this nigga out.
Oh,
that shit was wild, bro.
Oh yeah,
Italian dude, Nick. I fuck with Nick.
You were exposed to it early.
A purple Monte Carlo.
That's funny.
In fact, we ran to him one time, Phil, in Bowie, that liquor store we used to go to in Bowie, when they used to call you Tupac.
Oh, yeah, the Chinese liquor store.
We ran to him one day.
Okay. Man, there's so many trips there. Probably. I think I do remember that vaguely.
What was your first job, Phil?
Oh, man, I worked at a bakery with my grandma. I was, like, baking cookies and writing on cakes and shit.
You had family there. That's real shit.
Then my second job, I worked at Sonic Drive-In.
You was on skates?
And I was giving away all. No, I never did that. But funny story. Funny man, I got stories about that. I've been a scammer for a long time.
Scammer.
Hey man, I'll just let you know. Remember, this is being recorded. Just let you know.
Marcus,
that's why I stopped myself.
Marcus, you be watching them YouTube joints. You ever seen? I was saying you be watching them YouTube joints. You ever seen Phil Valentine or Bobby Hemmett?
I heard of them. I don't be watching them joints like that though. But I mean, I watched probably like a while ago. I watched some shit.
What's he
but
do?
Nothing too heavy. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. No, because I say that because I know I seen one of them because you was talking about the sperm and shit and being the light or whatever the fuck. I know I seen one of them joints on one of them motherfuckers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
One of them black empowerment jumps.
Even when you were saying like us connected to the earth, you know how when you meditate, the first one they always make you do is grounding. Like you gotta embed yourself into the earth and all that.
Yeah, they say it's
like,
healthy to just walk out in the grass and like just let your feet like touch the earth and shit like that. Like it's like you're absorbing.
Your red chakra.
It's like good. It's like
the
good
one most
to do that.
Yep, that's wild. But yeah, when you were saying, I was like, man, that makes sense though.
Yeah, I always heard that like that term is just I never hear it put together like that.
What term?
Life force.
Oh, life force energy. Yeah. Yeah, that shit is important though, man. Like, you like, especially the older we get and shit like that, we gotta like try to hold on to that shit as much as we can, because you know what I'm saying. It's like you naturally not gonna have as much energy anyway. You know what I'm saying? You better use what you got.
Yeah, you know? But that's why I was saying that.
It's another word for your
giving it away. That's like a part of you, but it's powerful. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
it's the most vital. Like, think about this. I was saying the other day. Like I was saying the other day in the one joint, it was like the black male sperm is like the most valuable shit out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Because look at like how many industries that at least like even though we may not be the ones who dominate it, but look who's bringing in the attention. Who's the ones like the children that come from us. You see what I'm saying? So-called black culture is pop culture, but who is birthing that? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Amen.
So it's like, nigga, so if we use that shit so wisely and we use that shit like methodically, nigga, we could just, you know what I'm saying, we be straight. You know what I mean? You know?
Well, that's what it said, man. Like even when you have sex and stuff, you're supposed to just be doing it. You're not supposed to actually give the life force unless you're really trying to create.
It's for procreation.
I heard that too.
For procreation.
Yeah.
I heard that before.
This is what it's supposed
to waste it.
But it ain't for pleasure, it's for procreation.
How do you do that?
Yeah, but I mean,
how do you do
that? Especially, and it's almost like cheating when you know you can reproduce it and all that. It's just like, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. Come on.
Some juice.
I'm telling you that's why you be like out after you nut. This is like you like fucking. You be feeling drained because nigga like you lost all your fucking like that tiger, and you just like, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Like you lost that shit.
I heard that before. That's why I said that.
But imagine if you don't never lose that tiger though. Imagine if you don't never. You know what I'm trying to say though. Like you never lose that shit though. You know what I mean? Like
and you lose it in the
instant.
That's what's so crazy. And then you have to really recharge.
Since we couldn't touch on it on the last joint, since we couldn't touch on it during the episode, what y'all niggas think about these flat earth niggas? What y'all think about that? Because it's
I got something to say.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So like,
I want to hear.
Just like a lot of things, I try to hear both sides.
Exactly.
Flat Earth is interesting, but at the same time, I just
Very interesting.
I don't understand like what's the benefit of telling somebody that the Earth is round when it is flat. That's the thing I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I know somebody that's really like well like educated or done a lot. I don't want to say educated, but has done a lot of research on the shit, and he be making some good points. But my main issue is like what do somebody get out of telling somebody that this is a round Earth when it is actually flat? Like I don't understand that part.
Right.
You right.
I hear that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying too. Because if this is flat, then what other planets are flat? That's what I mean. I thought about it like that too.
I only raise the question because it comes up with the y'all talking about the being in the fourth dimension and
that's what I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Like how can it be? How can Earth be flat? If this is like a dimension, so called, like if we live in the third dimension, then how can Earth be flat? You know what I'm saying? Because how can we live in something? How can you live in something that's flat? It don't make no sense, nigga. Where to name something that's flat? Where does flat exist?
But I also bring it up because we talk about I also bring it up because we talk about how y'all was talking about Antarctica and shit. We're not allowed to go to Antarctica, and I know that they was talking about, what was it, Admiral Byrd or whoever the fuck went to Antarctica and shit. And
yeah, I know about all that.
It's the fur, you got the firmament and all that shit. Go ahead, talk on it, preach on it, brother.
No, it sounds like you know what you're talking about, but at the same time, like I don't know. The one thing that like be getting me is that I could see why flat earthers be I don't know. I mean, they make a lot of points. Yeah, the one thing that I can like see, like it look a little kind of fishy, is like when you look at all like the imagery of Earth, like when they be out in space and they take and they look at the imagery of Earth, that shit looks all fucking CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And all that SpaceX,
that's true.
That shit looked fake as fuck. And then NASA came out and said, everything that you see, like every picture that you see of the Earth is, it's composite of different images to make up like one globe. And because it's so big, you got to take a whole bunch of pictures to make one picture. But the shit look fake as fuck. Like every like little avatar that you see, like screensaver that you see on your phone or some shit, or like a screensaver or some shit. It's the same shit as what NASA did.
But it was like one dude that was on Joe Rogan podcast. I forget who it was. He was like one of the astronauts, but he said, the first time he looked out to look back at Earth, he said it was round. He said it's just like the pictures you see. It's kind of like that. So he wasn't even like, he wasn't blown away by it.
Yeah, but they could have been sending him just like.
But he could have been lying too, because that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what, you know what I mean? Like the stories of even going up there and stuff. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, like those original moon landings, that shit is fake as fuck.
Yeah, like Neil Armstrong and all that. Yeah, I know.
And the shit that be getting me about the moon landings, like the original moon landings. Well, for one is like we haven't been back since those original jumps, and those was like in the '60s, late '60s,
'70s. Yeah. Yep.
We haven't been back since then, and all this fucking technology we got now, we haven't been back since then. That shit makes no sense. That shit makes no sense at all.
You saw them, bro. They said they were shooting in a freaking studio. Like they weren't doing nothing crazy. They shot it in a studio.
And then another thing is, and this sounds stupid, but another thing is, you ever see like that one guy? He would like walk up on like astronauts that been on the moon. He'd be like, "I want you to swear to God right now, put your hand on this Bible and said you've been to the moon," and they be getting mad.
Who are you?
Yeah, like I want you to swear to God right now, put your hand on this Bible and say you've been to the moon, and they be getting mad. One nigga, I think Buzz Aldrin stole off on the nigga.
Probably did.
Didn't the reason they did that?
I can see that shit happening though.
Didn't they say that? Didn't they say the reason that we lied about going to to the moon is because like China or somebody was getting close to doing it?
The Russians. The Russians getting close. And then a lot of the, a lot of the people that worked for like the original like moon landing ship were ex-Nazis, and they started the whole like propaganda game.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That's funny though how you. It's funny. It's funny how you say that. Bring up the whole thing about propaganda, because I remember when I was in middle school, and I remember we was learning about like the Nazi. Was that in high school when they teach you about like Germany and World War II and all that shit? Like what's that? What grade? Do y'all remember what grade that was? But either way, they was teaching us about how like the Nazis used propaganda to like manipulate their people, and I'm sitting here like, what's the fucking difference? like why they just put that on Germany and shit? Like that's some shit that only they do. I thought that was funny.
We the offshoot, shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, the flat Earth shit, I could see why people would believe it, and I can see why people are sleep to the other fact. So,
what do they say about it that makes you believe it though?
Huh? The flat Earth? I just said it.
Yeah.
The whole fake CGI image of
Oh, is it like anything that they like that makes it like just prove like I think somebody said one time like if you
there's no real picture of Earth from space.
Yeah.
What about that picture from the moon? That the picture that they so-called took from the moon, and it shows Earth, and it looked like it's like halfway, like it looks like a half a planet, kind of.
Yeah, like a crescent.
Yeah, so, something like that, kind of.
And then like, all right, look, I don't know if any of y'all been to like the Air and Space Museum, but I like to go there to watch like IMAX.
I love the Air and Space Museum. That's my favorite museum. Go ahead.
I like to go there and watch the IMAX movies because they got the best screen. But when you first walk in, they got a replica of the probe that goes from the shuttle to the moon and then back from the moon to the shuttle. Mm-hmm. And that shit looks like a piece of shit.
Okay.
Ain't no way that.
That's what I'm saying. That too.
It's just like it look like a piece of foil just like bunched together, and like how does that get from a shuttle moving fast as fuck to like a rock?
Yeah,
blast off from a rock.
Even in those space movies, they do that though. Like, yeah, they use like it's like tinfoil, plastic, and like all that, but it's supposed to be so sturdy in space. Yeah, right.
Man, fuck that.
I forget what movie was like.
And they can't do it again. They can't do it again. It don't make sense to me. How something so primitive do that shit and you can't remake it? And we got
and that too. The moon. The moon isn't even far.
Been back to the moon. If they've never really been to the moon, that would explain why they're not doing it again. Because we have too much CGI and too much technology or whatever the fuck that we're gonna know that you're faking this shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the thing. They probably just had that back in the day. You know what I mean? That was their advance of technology. Now we just gotta know. You know what I'm saying? We understand it. Who knows, man?
That shit don't make sense, bro. Like, if something don't make sense, it don't make sense. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
And then, like they said, they lost all of the the recordings. Like,
yeah.
They just lost it. No. They didn't say they lost it. They said they recorded over the shit.
Did you?
How a bunch of scientists do some high ass shit like that?
Yeah, some so amateur.
What the fuck, man? Kiss my ass.
Did you see the videos though? Did y'all see the videos of them going? There's videos on YouTube where they show that them going on the moon, and they show like there's a couple of structures on the moon made out of I don't know if it's glass or whatever the fuck, and they show that they found bodies like a woman and shit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is that on Ancient Aliens?
Think about that.
Nah,
no.
That's some other shit. That is like some.
This is on YouTube.
That's some real other shit. And they also said like there's Nazi bases up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, on the dark side of the moon. You know, nobody. You know, like every
Transformers.
every. That's what I'm saying. They push in the movies, but every planet rotates and shit. Every planet rotates, and you always see like all sides of the shit. The moon, you only see one side of the moon.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think about that though?
True.
You only see one side of the moon.
On the back side of the moon, there's supposedly Nazi bases.
That's actually facing the sun.
Yeah,
it's actually facing the sun. You know what I'm saying? Is there green over there? What the fuck? What's going over there? I seen videos on YouTube that showing like it's gold and shit all over the moon and some other shit.
What? Yeah, I need to go down that rabbit hole, man. Go down. I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, it's wild shit, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the moon.
But when I start doing that, man, I get hooked. I'm like, I go on these like 9-hour binges, and then I don't even come out myself.
Right. I got sometimes.
Yeah.
I be having to take like months long breaks though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'll keep thinking about it too. I go back and like do more research. Like I'm telling you,
it's different
I go
now,
crazy.
I'm telling you, it's different because they censor so much shit on the internet. But back then, bruh, I was all into that shit.
Oh yeah. Now when you first started showing me stuff, that's what I'm saying. I try to go back and see some of that stuff is not even on there.
Right, I was all into that shit.
What y'all say? The 9/11 joints are no longer on there.
No, it's not.
Most of them aren't. Only ones they got on there is like whatever come out on like National Geographic or whatever they put out like as episodes.
Some shit that everybody saw.
Raw.
Right.
Yeah. None of the unknown. That's always the good stuff. But now I remember even when you told us about like Project Bluebeam and all that, I remember all that from years ago.
And then now
so crazy.
Now they're just starting to do shit. So.
Yeah, exactly. Once they showed the first hologram, the Tupac one or the Michael Jackson one, I was like, oh my god! Like I was already shocked. Like, oh, I got chills. Like, oh my god, they're starting to do it. They're implementing the plan right now. I was even thinking about it when I saw it, and everybody was going crazy. It was at a concert. Shoot, and even with the stuff that keeps happening now, like they had one for Pop Smoke, like all that stuff. I'm like, man, why do they do that? Why are they using that visual so heavy? But just like you said when you said the second coming, yeah.
That nigga has one song oh man, he got a hologram. Pop Smoke.
Exactly. Yeah, man. And it was a big one. It wasn't like the little one. It was like the big giant one. Like it was as big as the concert hall. Like that's how he's like 30 feet tall. That's when I was shocked. Like how they do that. I was like blown away. Like when Ant-Man on Avengers turned into the big one, it was like that. Yeah, it looked crazy. I was like, oh my god.
Just we on controversial shit. Y'all niggas believe in giants?
What they call it?
Yo, they said people used to walk around like 9 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look that up on YouTube. I went down the rabbit hole for that before. Plus. Yeah, man. Oh, that's yeah, no, I believe that.
That's
even those mastodons and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it was
Lighthouse.
Oh, what you say now? What you say? Nah, we're talking about giants. I said
you believe in giants. You believe in giants. We talking about giants.
Nah, I ain't never really looked into the whole giants thing, but I always thought that I did look into like that Annunaki shit, and I know they was like giants and some shit like that too. They was like big,
real shit.
Like giants.
Giants the real shit, though. Giants the real shit.
Antarctica and shit.
I just wanted y'all to know the giants are real shit.
How you know? How you know giants are real shit?
I know giants are real shit because they've been published. Giants have been published in Lifetime magazine, New York Times, all that shit. They have been published. Giants.
Did you watch Game of Thrones, Corey?
Nah, I didn't. everybody had told me it was dope as shit, and it was like, damn, it's already 5 seasons in, or how many motherfucking seasons y'all was in on the joint. I seen one. I have seen one episode with the ice nigga or whatever, and he made the dragon come alive or some shit. The ice dragon or some shit.
All right.
I was
That's
like,
that's a
nigga, I
later
can't come
season.
in. Yeah, I can't come in the middle of the shit. I gotta watch the shit.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it from the beginning.
Nah, man, watch that. That's good. They got giants
just
on
started
there.
Ozark.
You fuck
Yo,
with
my dad love that show.
Yeah, I fuck with it. Yeah. I just finished the first season, so I'm just going all
that shit is tough.
the way
That
through. I
shit is
just
tough.
started that shit.
But no, Giants is real though.
Good one.
Giants is real. David and Goliath was real shit, dog. David and Goliath was real shit. They got giant. They pulling up giant bones and everywhere, dog. Everywhere.
Yeah.
What y'all think about? What y'all think about? Do y'all think Black people or Africans? Do y'all think we are quote unquote we're just Africa, or do you think we are a global people? Do you think we was traveling before Christopher Columbus? Do you think we were in the Americas and all that shit? What do you think?
hidden color shit.
Yeah. Even before, even
descendants of Black people.
I didn't even see the hidden color shit. If they touched on that, I seen the hidden colors 1 and 2. I didn't see anything after that.
How you say you ain't seen hidden colors and you say I seen hidden colors 1 and 2?
Nah, I seen hidden colors 1 and hidden colors 2. I seen those 2, but I know it's like a hidden colors 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5. I think it's a hidden colors 3, 4, and 5. But I be arguing with my wife and shit and talking about niggas is over this motherfucker. And she's like, nah. We wouldn't.
Aren't like Native Americans descendants of like Black people?
Nah,
they was over here.
They say, quote unquote, in the books, in the scholarly books anyway, there are Asians coming across. They're Asians.
But they always gonna lie on Black people though, man. They don't want Black people to ever find out
even after they find the oldest I'm gonna say the oldest body or oldest skeleton, oldest fossil in the Americas, that was a woman, a Black woman, whatever.
A Black woman.
Nah, we went over here. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
my point is, if we take it back to Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas lived on the river Nile, the Nile River and shit, and that's all they knew was going up and down. So it was no point. It was no. I'm not saying there's no point. I'm saying there's nothing for them to get on the water. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they didn't know no shit about sailing or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When a shit floods or whatever the fuck, whatever. They knew about riding on the water, dog. They knew about riding on the water, my nigga. That's what do you think niggas was over here? Do you think niggas was over here in the Americas?
You just said
yes,
it.
Man. They just ain't called America. We were everywhere. It's documented.
Exactly.
Find something that people are already living on.
And that's what I think.
Well, I think us right now. I think who.
My bad. Go ahead.
All right. Now I think us right now, like us Black people right now, we're like a mixture of Africans, Native Americans, and white people. You know what I'm saying? Just through the whole slavery shit. You know what I'm saying? I think like we're like a kind of a mix of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because you know what I'm saying? If you think about, because now some of us was Native Americans was already here. Then you had the Africans who came over here, and then you had the white people who was the slave masters and was doing what they wanted to do with whoever they wanted to do with it. So you got to kind of look at it like, so a lot of us came out. I think that's who we today are, like descendants. Right. So back in those days, even those Native Americans and those Africans probably wasn't the same as, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't the same exact people, you know what I'm saying? But then they became the same people mixed in with the slave master. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
The evolution.
Not because Russia.
But then not everybody, and some people didn't get certain mixes, and I think we're all like, you know, as far as our percentages, it's like all over the place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, but what I was gonna say,
nobody's 100% nothing.
yeah. But if you want to go to it though, if we're saying that, I think y'all was talking about something earlier in the other episode, talking about how these people were able to do the same thing as these other people were doing or whatever. But how is it that there's pyramids in South America and all that shit, and you have pyramids in Africa or Egypt? I want to say you got pyramids in Egypt, and then you have pyramids in all down South America, Mexico,
Yeah, Mexico.
yeah,
Yep.
all down there,
Mars.
all down there, all down there, all
Mars.
down.
It's
They call
pyramids.
them.
They got them underwater too.
There's pyramids underwater in Japan.
Yeah,
Yep.
got all these
See, that's what I'm
pyramids.
saying.
You got all these pyramids out here, and we're saying that black folks weren't able to. I'm not going to just say black folks, but melanated people were able to go from Africa to the Americas and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Man, and that's the thing. What do you think the pyramids like symbolize all across the world like that? That's what I mean, like with the
that's a good.
teleportal and everything. It gotta be connected like that.
That's a good question.
The energy source, or it's like, because there's no tomb.
You think it's a landing zone? You think it's a landing zone? This fucking spaceship is landing on top of that motherfucker?
There's no tomb.
That's what, it comes from like another dimension or another, like, that's what I mean, portal, like how they connected like that. It gotta be something with those, because those date back to forever too.
Yeah. There's no tombs.
Like,
there's no tombs in the pyramid. It's just empty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in Africa, in Egypt. But when you go to South America, you got motherfucking tombs. You got tombs in the pyramids.
They just picked up and left.
Yeah,
Hey,
them
but
niggas disappeared though.
don't y'all think if there were, but don't y'all think like even the fact that there was pyramids like underwater and shit, like y'all don't think that like if there was some sort of like alien life or UFOs, like don't you think hiding in the ocean would be the perfect place to hide?
Yeah.
We ain't never even been to the bottom.
That's what I mean. Like, but them niggas can probably get there. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying? If you think so, like, they might have been here the whole goddamn. They could have been here for fucking billions of years.
You know what made me think of that? That Aquaman movie. You see that?
Aquaman movie.
I see it, but I seen.
But what about the what was the movie, the War Against Worlds or some shit, when them fucking aliens just came? Yeah, Tom Cruise. It just came out of the fucking ground and shit.
Yeah.
Yep. They got the lightning struck them into the ground.
Yeah. No, they was already there, apparently.
And Tom Cruise be on that wave, man. He got Oblivion. He got all them type movies. He be
that was probably
telling
one
us.
of the worst movies I ever saw in my life.
You said Oblivion?
War of the Worlds. I remember as a kid, I was like, "That's what this." That was like, that was it. Like there was like no plot. It was just like aliens are coming down to people's shit. You
saying what the War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
I was blown at the end
of
that. It's like, damn, it was just germs that killed these motherfuckers, really? Yeah, come on, dog. The germs. These niggas got all the technology.
That's just like Signs. Remember when the water killed him? It was the water.
Yeah, no, that shit was dope though. That shit was dope. They did that shit. Right.
Signs was tight. Yeah.
Signs was tight.
That was tight.
That was tight. Yeah, but honestly,
that's what I mean. It's like something so they're so advanced, but something so simple can kill them.
That would be fucking crazy though. That might be a reason though, dog. We talking about why these motherfuckers ain't came down here and fuck with us and no shit. It might be some shit like that. Like War of the Worlds or signs or something. It might be some simple ass shit. Why they can't come down here? They got all the technology. They can't fuck with our germs or whatever the fuck. They can't fuck. They might need water or whatever for some shit, but they can't fuck with our germs and shit. Nigga, we
Might
got
be that
COVID-19 going on this
our
motherfucker.
atmosphere.
Niggas in the house.